Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse shoe review of the Mizuno Wave Enforce Tour 2. The Mizuno Wave Enforce Tour gets updated with improved stability and even more comfort in this second generation. Equipped with the new ENERZY NXT foam in the midsole, the Enforce Tour 2 delivers added energy return in your step and plush cushioning for long hours on the court. A redesigned Dyna-Heel Lock system improves the fit and support, while the upper material feels comfortable and breathable. Mizuno's signature DuRubber is formed into an outrigger outsole, giving you extra lateral stability, and is also backed by a 6-month outsole durability guarantee. When it comes to these shoe reviews, one of the biggest aspects for me is the comfort of the shoes, and this one definitely is right up there as one of my favorites in terms of comfort. I really love the cushioning system. I was a big fan of the previous version of this shoe, and what Mizuno did with this one was just some really minor, small tweaks. I think they already had a good thing going with this shoe, but just comfortable cushioning. As soon as I put the shoe on, I could feel the mesh on the upper, the tongue, nice and padded. I felt like from pretty much anywhere inside the shoe, I wasn't getting any unwanted like rubbing or pinching, and it fit my foot pretty good for the most part. I will say through the middle part and the forefoot, maybe a little bit generous or a little bit roomy for my foot type, but I wore some thicker socks and that seemed to work really well for me. I would say if I had to knock the shoe for a stability type of shoe like a gel res or a barricade, if you're comparing it to those, it's a little bit soft and the uppers do start to stretch a little bit over time, so not quite as really stable and locked in as those shoes. But for that type of shoe, the comfort's great, and all in all, I'll continue to wear this shoe quite a bit on court.
I really enjoyed this playtest. I love this shoe. It's my favorite Mizuno shoe to date. Love the cushioning in it when I was running around on the court. Really plush ride, kept me nice and comfortable, protecting my aging joints nicely out there on the hard court. And then I really like the blend of grip and give from the outsole too. I felt like I was moving at my best in this shoe. The fit is, I would say, a medium fit, and I have a narrow foot, but I was able to cinch it up tightly around my feet. I usually wear 2 pairs of socks, but in this shoe I was just wearing the one, and I was happy with that snug, secure fit, especially around the ankle collar. Felt like it locked the back of my foot in, and the heel narrows nicely, locked my heels in very well, and it just felt very secure when I was making those aggressive lateral cuts, and I really needed that ankle support and stability. I totally got that in this shoe, so love this play test, really fun one for me.
I was on the original play test for these Mizuno Wave Enforces, and what I really liked about that shoe was its fit and its comfort. And with this update, I felt like I was really happy to see that Mizuno didn't really mess with those two aspects. I found this shoe to be very comfortable underfoot, and I found the width to be plenty wide for my E-width feet. In fact, I thought it was maybe a little bit wider than I would have liked. I felt like I did have to wear my thicker TW socks. And I was still sliding around a little bit in the forefoot area, so I really had to cinch up my laces from the bottom on up to get a locked-in fit and feel. I thought the stability of this shoe was slightly improved from the previous version, although I would have liked if the shoe was a little bit more rigid in the uppers. Traction, I thought, was excellent. It had, like Chris mentioned, a blend of grip and give. So all in all, I think this is a subtle update, but I think it's a great option for players that have a slightly wider foot that just want really great underfoot cushioning.
If I'm being accurate here, I have to say that Mizuno has just made one shoe after another that fits my foot type, and I'm allowed to move around the court the way I want to. I cannot say this about other shoe manufacturers, and there is no exception to the Wave Enforce Tour 2. This update, like Jay mentioned, there's some subtle changes from the first one. I wouldn't say the fit really changed much. I'm gonna call it a generous medium. I know Chris mentioned it was a medium. It is definitely got some width up front. And the cushion underfoot with the NXT midsole, great cushioning underfoot. The Dyna-Heel Lock system in the rear, I'd say, is one of the best. I was very locked in. I didn't have to use the empty eyelet, anything like that. Out of the box comfort, zero braking required. And traction was good on any hard court surface that I played on. If there is any knock I can give to the shoe, that would just be in relation to the fit. I have somewhat of a narrower shoe. I really had to tug on the laces hard to get a customized glove-like fit, which I was able to achieve, but just on its own, it is a little wider. And then the outrigger, the lateral side of the shoe, kind of extends out. I kind of prefer something that is not as stable, believe it or not. I want something when I tip, I kind of know where the edge of my foot is, but other than that, just was a great shoe overall for any hard court play. Whether I was playing ground strokes, anything else, it was just an awesome play test.
And that wraps up our shoe review of the new Mizuno Wave Enforce Tour 2. For more information on these shoes or anything tennis related, be sure to head to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.